Today we're doing an episode on something that I can't really relate to too highly, and I don't have too much experience in, and that's talking about love and psychology. So this is going to be a bit of a tough one today to try and get through, but I'll do my best. I'll do my best to try and explain it best for myself and to what I think everyone else will understand. But now, in this episode, we're going to go through other people's experiences. Note that, other people, and studies as well, because I've very, very little experience in this field. But in the main topics today, we're going to go through how the brain reacts to love, how it reacts to heartbreak, and why and how the brain reacts to people that we do like and people that we don't like. So, when we fall in love, the brain goes into a wild and it's a very specific kind of pattern, and it's almost predictable in a way. One of the most well-known studies comes from Helen Fisher, and the study that she did at Rutgers University. Don't know where that is, but it's the best study that I've found. And they scanned brains of people who were intensely in love and found massive activation in the ventral tegmental area. It's known as the VTA. And this region is tied to motivation and dopamine release. This is the same reward circuit that is activated by food, achievement, and even addictive substances. That's why, and note this, the idea of love as a drug is actually very true. And it's because of the way that our brain reacts to it. This tells us something that's very important, and it's that love is actually chemically rewarding to us. And the brain treats it like a survival mechanism in a way. So facts about, how the brain reacts during love, or even when you like someone and you're starting to get into that phase of, not even being intimate with them, but realizing that you do like this person a lot, is that there's a big release in oxytocin. So this is the bonding hormone. It spikes during physical touch, sex, and even eye contact, which it kind of explains why recently there's been a big, trend about girls being obsessed with eye contact from guys. And it's because it releases this, chemical response in their brain, oxytocin, that when they, receive a lot of eye contact, they tend to either engage in it a lot, or they get flustered or overwhelmed and they look away, because it's very scary to look at and to be in that moment. But it's also, it's actually very intimate and fucking scary. Like when you're side-eyeing a chick and you're staring at her and she stares back and then you both look away, it's usually because you're releasing this hormone in your body, or this chemical reaction, whatever it is, and you're both overwhelmed by that, kind of moment. Another big thing that when you start to like someone and you become really fond of them, your amygdala, its senses decrease a lot, and your amygdala detects, fear and threats around you, and it explains why all of the time when you really like someone, you want to be close to them a lot. And it's because when your amygdala is less active, it sees them as less of a threat as this person. They're less of a threat when you're around them. So you don't need to worry about anything bad happening to you. Which is why a lot of people who have, their love language as being physical touch, they find it really easy to be close with someone that they're interested in, because they're not seeing them as a threat. and they actually feel safe around them. And then the last one is the prefrontal cortex. This is mostly responsible for your judgment and your logical thinking. But when you're interested in someone and you're speaking to someone that you think's attractive, I was about to say fit as, but that's just a bit too much. When you think someone's hot and you're talking to them, your prefrontal cortex just kind of decreases. So you kind of just end up rumbling with fucking rubbish out of your mouth, just trying to think of something to say. And that's also why you have to think so hard of what to say when you're around someone that you like, and why you get nervous, because your logical thinking from your prefrontal cortex just decreases so much. But it's also a very big reason as to why people can avoid red flags so easily in people, or flaws in their personality or social abilities with you straight away, because you're not thinking logically. Like, example, you're talking to a girl and immediately, like, say you're on a date and she gets a call from not even a random number, but say just like one of her mates, and whilst you're on the date, she immediately picks it up and just starts having a full-blown conversation just in front of you, and you're just sitting there. You don't really see that as like being a red flag immediately, because you're interested in them. Like, you think they're attractive, and you just sit there and wait and wait and wait. That's because your prefrontal cortex has less activity going on. You're not really thinking that much. You're just thinking, fuck, she is so hot. And you're just staring at her. You're like, yep, keep going, keep going. And like, when you're on a first date, don't fucking answer your phone straight away. Like, don't answer the call straight away. Text them, hey, I'm out at the moment, what's wrong? Because, like, give them the fucking respect. And there was also another study done from a university in London, found that romantic love reduces critical thinking towards your partner. So this is suppressing the areas of your brain that judge social behavior. And basically, your brain wants the love to work. Like, it wants this thing to work out. And so it shuts down all of the negative noise of stuff that they might be doing. And in each of these segments, I asked ChatGPT to ask me 3 or 4 questions of something that I can read for the first time, strikes a conversation, makes me have to think for a lot, and also makes me be able to, I guess, not lengthen the video, but further explain kind of some of these ways of thinking. So, first question being, when you fell in love, or when you've fallen in love, did it feel motivating or addictive? Like, I've never had a long-term relationship, but I've definitely liked people before. And yeah, immediately, all you want to do is just be around them. Like, you just want quality time as much as you can, and you just want to be with them as much as you can. That's why most of the time when I'm really into someone, I'll ask them to literally just go do anything. Like, do you want to come with me to the supermarket and do some supermarket shopping? Or do you want to just go grab a coffee? Or do you want to fucking go to the shopping centre and just look at some clothes and not buy anything? Like, it's just little stuff like that. It makes you just want to be around them a lot more. But also, when you first start liking someone, and this is the same thing for when you first break up, I guess it's kind of a motivating thing. You're either motivating to get yourself better for that person, or you're motivating yourself to improve yourself because you've lost someone, or you want to better yourself to make sure that that stuff doesn't happen to you again. Did you find yourself overlooking any red flags? And yes, like, straight away, you overlook red flags as soon as you can. Like, you don't even think about it. You try and get it out of your mind as soon as you can when you first meet someone, especially if they're super attractive, because that's all you're fucking thinking about. Especially with guys. Like, with guys, it's very easy for us to just get sucked into liking a chick straight away, because honestly, girls are fucking the decision makers in terms of the relationship starting and going somewhere. Men have to make the effort, but women ultimately decide if it's going to work. Because they're the prize, like they are. What's one physical or emotional sign you personally get when attraction turns into attachment? Fuck, that's a great question. Firstly, I think that the term attachment has gotten a really bad rap. A really bad rep as of recently. Because, like, with all the fucking shit on social media, people always talk about attachment and attachment styles and thinking that it's a bad thing. I think attachment is a step towards further intimacy, and also the word connection is just stuck in my mind because of Love Island, which is just fucking all I can think about at the moment. I've just been grinding Love Island. And I guess you can say Jotham's amygdala has been had decreased activity because he doesn't realize that Gabby is fucking nuts. She actually scares me. But that's a story for another day. For I don't even know, not a Love Island chat, but we'll save it for another episode. But yeah, like, attachment is not a bad thing. Like, when people think of attachment, it's obviously negatively associated with things, but I think that, yeah, attachment is a step towards a further developed relationship. That's what I personally think. But I think that physically, I don't know, my physical touch obviously increases, and I guess emotionally, I'm just more real. I guess, like, the first time people meet me, actually, I let people see me and, like, what I am on a day-to-day basis. Or, like, when I'm having a shit day. Like, when my mood isn't high. Because I think a lot of the time when people first meet me, I'm usually very, smiley, happy, very opening, and very, I guess, I'm a pretty open book. I'm not a pretty open book. I'm an open book. Like, I don't really care if people know a lot about me, because, like, I've got nothing to hide. But I would let, I guess, someone see not the darker sides of me. I'm not fucking Batman, but, like, the sides of me that aren't so pleasant. Like, when I get pissed off, like, I'm not going to be avoiding that kind of feeling with someone. Like, I would let them see those emotions of me, if that makes sense. Those are kind of things that I do, that I've realized. But Jesus, ChatGPT has some great questions. Next, how does the brain react to heartbreak? So when you're in love, your brain lights up, and I guess heartbreak is going to do the absolute opposite for you. But I guess not in ways that you would expect it to, I guess. Heartbreak activates your anterior cingulate cortex. So it's the same region that is triggered during physical pain. And we've talked about this in a past episode where we talk about why love feels like physical pain. And you can go check out that episode. It's a previous episode in the 20s or so, but it's titled Why Heartbreak Feels Like Physical Pain. And we go into further depth into that. But basically, parts of your brain light up, and your brain can't distinguish between physical and emotional pain. And so most of the time, when emotional pain is so significant, you start to feel physical pains in your own body. That's why a lot of the time, like, heartbreak, like, you feel tightness in your chest. You actually feel like your heart's literally broken because the emotional pain is just so significant to you. And there was a study done by Naomi Elzenberg at UCLA, And it showed that emotional rejection activates the pain matrix in the brain. So participants even responded to heartbreak similar to ways as subjects who experienced literal physical burns. So there's so many brain areas that activate during when you have physical pain, and the exact same areas activate when you experience emotional pain. And it's kind of wild to think of. Like your prefrontal cortex struggles a lot, and it makes having clarity and making informed decisions a lot harder for you. And a big reason why sometimes a lot of people, including myself, when they go through emotional pain like this, sometimes their cortisol spikes so high that they lose their appetite completely. They have affected sleep, and emotionally they're not stable. So they're not their hormones, their emotions are just going high and low, high and low, high and low so much, and it's very hard to deal with. And your amygdala, which we talked about before, decreases so much when you're in love that when you get heartbroken, it becomes hyperactive. So this causes anxiety, rumination, and reliving a bunch of past memories with that person, which is a very, very common thing to do when you get broken up with someone or when you break up with someone. And it's very common to have physical pains and to feel like physically uneasy after being heartbroken. Like, I remember I was talking to a girl and found out that, or not even found out, but she left my house to go to another bloke's house and spend the night with him. Or spend most of the night, not stay the night, but spend most of the night with him. And this was like, I think it was literally a week after I asked her to be exclusive. Or maybe not even a week after. I would have seen her that week. And yeah, after I asked her to be exclusive, and she was at mine, we're watching a movie and we're like cuddling and kissing and whatnot. And she was like, oh, I've got to go. Like, I saw her phone like light up with messages, checks her phone. She's like, I've just got to go. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, I just have to leave. Like, I'm getting an Uber, don't worry. And I was like, is it? I thought it could have been like with her family or something. And she just left. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And I was like, just text me when you're home. And she's like, yeah, okay. Didn't get a text. Then she told me that she went to another bloke's house. And I was like, yeah, fuck this. But I was 16, so I had no idea like what to do. Like, my brain was just muddled. It was just so cooked. And I spent like 2 or 3 days just talking to all my mates about it and figuring out what to do when the answer was already fucking there. It was handed to me on a silver platter with the answer of what to do, and that was end it, which I did. And I called her, and it was just a mess. I won't get into it, but after that, after I found out, after she told me that she went to another bloke's house, I felt sick. My legs went so weak immediately. Like, it literally felt like my heart skipped a beat. And I felt just like disgusting. Like, I didn't eat for an entire day because of it, because I just felt horrible. And that just goes to show, like, it's completely normal. Like, I know I don't show much of my personality on this, because a lot of the time, like, it's not like I don't get the opportunity to, but it's not set up like that, this podcast. That's why I was like, in the past episode, in the Let Me Chat episode, I was talking about vlogging, because I feel like I want to show a little bit more of my personality to you guys, because I reckon it'll build more of a connection. Sounds weird. Also sounds like I'm on Love Island again, but it actually builds more of that, viewer to video maker kind of relationship connection. Fuck, I can't stop watching Love Island, and it's all the terms are just stuck in my head. How do I personally cope with the brain in its withdrawal mode? So yeah, like I said before, love is a drug. And when you get broken up with, you go through the same kind of, I guess, experiences that you would with, say, like quitting coke. Like you're not doing cocaine anymore. And you go through with these withdrawals where you see someone's going on a night out and your eyes light up, high beams go on, and you're like, shit, I want some of that. It's the same thing when, I guess, you get broken up with your ex and you see their post on Instagram and you're like, fuck, I really want to text them. It's the exact same thing. You're going through withdrawals. And I literally treat it, sounds weird, but I treat it the same thing as dieting. Out of sight is out of mind. So if I want to stop eating chocolate, I'm going to take out all the chocolate in my house. I'm not even that big of a chocolate fan, but that's an example. I'll take all the chocolate out of my house and make sure it's not around me. It's the same thing that you should do with the person that you know you're going to text or whatnot. Like, really, if you have to, like, send them a message like, hey, like, I can't have you in my phone or else I'm going to text you. I'm going to remove your number and block you so I don't end up doing it. And it's the same thing, Instagram, unfollow them, and, like, big thing, tell your mates about it, because if you go back, they're going to fucking bag the shit out of you, and they should, because it's so warranted if you do, and if you try and follow them back and start a conversation again and whatnot, and tell that person as well the same thing, because if they liked you enough during the relationship, they would like you enough to stop you from withdrawing. Bang, that's facts. That's facts from a guy that's never been in a long-term relationship before. Why is it that people who always don't get into relationships always have the best relationship advice? Is it just legit me? Lastly, talking about how our brain reacts to people that we do like and to people that we don't like. So, with people that we do like and people that we don't like, your brain is always constantly scanning. And it sounds weird, but you're scanning people automatically before you even consciously have a conversation with them or understand anything about them or their past or know anything about them. You're scanning that person to see if you like them or not. And it's not even a question, because you just do it automatically. As soon as you see someone walk into a room, your brain literally decides whether you like them or not in 0.1 seconds. And it might take you a little bit longer to process that, but you decide within that time, nah, I don't like him. Oh, he seems chill. He looks like a good bloke. Oh, she seems like a bitch. It's like all of those thoughts happen in 0.1 of a second, but you don't even realize it. So the way that your brain reacts to people that we do like, when you're around someone you like, it could be your friend, your crush, or just someone who gives you good energy, your brain releases dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. And these are all like your feel-good hormones. So dopamine, it's creating this interest of curiosity, and oxytocin creates trust, and then your serotonin, it increases your mood. It's your feel-good hormone, the feel-good hormones. One funny thing is your mirror neuron system activates with people that you like. It's like when you see those memes on TikTok of like, I can't even explain it because it sounds shit, but like when she starts using your lingo, it's because they actually like you. They start mirroring the things that you do, your actions, your mannerisms, you're mirroring your tone and even your posture. And supposedly this strengthens your connection, your rapport with that person that you're interested in. And so when you see people that you don't like, your brain reacts not even opposite, but more parts of the brain light up than they would when you do like someone. So the amygdala has been mentioned a lot in this episode, but the amygdala lights up really highly when you don't like someone because it's sensing a threat, it's sensing discomfort with this person. So that lights up immediately, signaling, let's not talk to this person, they're scary, let's not have any confrontation with them. And your cortisol also rises. So it's like when you see someone you don't like walk into a room or someone you have beef with, your cortisol rises straight away because it's your stress hormone. So you don't want to converse with them. You don't want to go up to them. You don't want to say hi. You don't even want to be near them because you're not a fan. You don't like them at all. And the prefrontal cortex actually lights up and becomes so much more active because you're going through all of these different scenarios and different thoughts in your head. And so you have to be logical and you have to think quickly. So it makes you a lot more judgmental. So a lot of the judgy girls they've got some strong prefrontal cortexes. Another study published in Nature Neuroscience found that when participants saw people they disliked succeeded, the brain showed reduced activity in reward areas, almost like a muted response. So this suggests that the brain literally tracks people as being in an in-group or an out-group. And it's faster than we can consciously realize. And the questions from chat. Do you trust your first impressions or do you think your brain jumps to conclusions too fast? I think my first impressions are pretty good. I think I'm very good at reading people and understanding intentions straight away. Like I can tell immediately when like I am or I'm not a fan of someone, or vice versa. They're not a fan of me or they are. Not like literally a fan, but like they like me as a person. I can understand that immediately. And I can tell immediately when people are being fake. That's something that I'm really good at. Like I can tell when someone's being very fake. Because it's so obvious, like it's very obvious. Have you ever disliked someone instantly without knowing why? Yeah, like after going through these studies and show notes and whatnot, it does make it a lot clearer why. My brain's just judging them before I even meet them. And that's a lot of first impressions. Like I'm good at reading people, but a lot of the time my first impressions suck. Like they're just horrible. Like I probably do jump to conclusions very fast, but it makes up for being able to read people pretty well. But yeah, of course, I've disliked someone instantly without knowing why. Because like some people, they just walk into a room and they're just annoyingly not blessed. They're cursed with just a resting bitch face. Like they're just looking at you like they just want to fucking put a knife through your chest and at your back. What signals, body language, tone, behavior tells your brain, I like this person or I don't feel safe with them? I think that no matter if it's intimate or platonic, but like this is also different for everyone because obviously some people hate physical touch. Like a lot of my best mates hate physical touch and it's so funny, so I do it more on purpose. But yeah, I think a very obvious one is if they're, touchy-feely, not in a weird way, friendly way. If they're comfortable around you in that way, that's a very obvious sign. And also just like giving you their attention. Like if they're looking at you when you're talking to them, if they're not walking away, they're giving you the time, then they obviously, they actually like you. And also if they're not just condescending, I find that a lot. Like fucking this tall poppy syndrome shit that everyone's talking about now on TikTok, especially in Australia because it's a big thing in Australia. people can be very condescending and also very two-faced, especially to your face. Like I've obviously met people that go, "Oh my god, I'm a huge fan. Like I watch every episode." I'm like, "Really? So you're the one of 10 people that listen to my episodes, really?" Like I can tell straight away like they're bullshitting, or like I get a lot of people coming up to me saying, "Oh, like can I hop on the podcast? Can I hop on the podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, no shit, mate. You're taking the piss. Like let's not fucking beat around the bush. Like you're just saying that because you can't think of anything else to say to me, or you just want to fucking take the piss out of someone." And I don't care. Like I've signed up for this. Like for the rest of my life, I know that people are just gonna think, oh, they're gonna know of me starting a podcast, and whether it succeeds or not, that's gonna be the main talking point. And I know that I know I'm gonna get the piss taken out of me, and I've already had the piss taken out of me by all my mates. But yeah, I guess a thing that is very obvious is, body language. If they're facing you a lot, it's pretty obvious that they want to talk to you, or they're actually attentive to you. But I guess like if they're talking to you like this, like, "Yeah, you on?" Oh, but like talking to you on their side and they're just facing you, for the people that are listening and not watching. But it's very obvious. Like it's so obvious when people aren't interested in you. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I guess I'm enjoying learning more about psychology and all that stuff. And it's all very complicated, but it's cool to learn about. I hope you guys all enjoy this episode. Again, if you have any new episodes that you want me to talk about, or anything that you want me to touch up on, comment down below, put in the show notes. Literally anything. Can be anything. Anyone you want me to talk to, anything that you want me to talk about, I'm more than happy to put an effort towards it. So I hope you guys all enjoy this episode, and I'll see you guys next week.